Phar Kim Beng, a strategic Indo-Pacific arena founder, joins me now live from Kuala Lumpur. Thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World. Really appreciate your taking out the time. Now, in conventional politics, people keep saying that North Korea is perhaps the most isolated country in the world. But here we are today, one of the world's biggest economies, China, is attending a military parade in North Korea. Russia is also in attendance. So is North Korea as isolated as people claim it is?
North Korea is definitely a hermit kingdom. It's isolated in the sense that it wants to be isolated, but to the degree that it feels that it should be part of the world and it should not have its national security or even the regime threatened by anyone, including some of its own allies. That is the time when North Korea will try to resort to various kinds of gestures, be they sending rockets or missiles into the space across the Sea of Japan, so on and so forth, to get attention. So this is actually what an anthropologist such as Clifford Geertz would refer to as a theatrical state, not just a nuclear state. So it's definitely planned because they need the nuclear deterrent to ensure their regime security, but it is also very theatrical in nature.
Phar, for how much longer do you think North Korea can afford to remain isolated?
I think they can remain isolated as much as they want to, because if you look at what has happened in Russia right now, at the end of the Cold War, as marked by the collapse of the Berlin Wall, we all assumed that Soviet Union would carry on and then the successor state, Russia, would also try to liberalize. But now what we see is actually a total regression. And it's not just confined to a country such as Russia. Research has shown that the world has witnessed 16 years of democratic recession, according to Professor Jared Diamond.
Right, and I want to bring us back to the military parade that took place in Pyongyang. What kind of message do you think that parade sends to the West, in particular to the US and South Korea?
The thing about military parade is that it's actually part and parcel of the whole setup of a state or statecraft, if you may. In the light of the scholarship of Professor Michel Foucault, for instance, having military parade is necessary to ensuring to everyone, including their own domestic citizens, that the state has the monopoly of violence. So when you have military parade in North Korea, what you should be looking for is the advancement that they have when it comes to their missiles, whether they have reached ICBM or are they merely putting up a show. I'm referring to intercontinental ballistic missiles that can reach not just the United States, but many parts of Asia too.
Right. Fascinating insights into the topic. Phar Kim Beng, thank you very much for talking to us here on TRT World. Really appreciate your taking out the time.